Guys, so this is a question for both of you. Where do you think fintech funding is headed in 2026? Should we expect it to continue in this positive trend, companies being able to raise millions, if not billions, because I see some of the companies are raising billions of dollars? Or should we expect that AI will take all the money and the rest of the industries will be like, will go dry basically without any funding?
I don't have a crystal ball, but
All right.
the signs I see in the market is that there's a too much exuberance. So I
Okay.
don't imagine a world where things continue to get crazier than where they are right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
There will be a cycle. Things will there's going to be another fintech winter. And I don't know if it's next year or it's in 3 years.
Okay.
What I know
Yep.
is you solve a problem, you do that in a unit economics efficient manner, you're going to be default alive even when funding dries up.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
got it. Shanti, what do you
what
think?
what I would add to that is from the founder perspective, like taking the highest valuation is not always, in fact, very often not the best thing to do.
Okay.
I have not always taken the term sheet with the highest valuation.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you look at what happened before, right, when we had our summer and then we had our winter, I have
Right.
friends who have to recapitalize their company. I have friends that have committed to a future that they had no business committing to. And now it's like,
Right.
they're hanging themselves with that. So I think what's important is if you kind of ignore some of the noise, like you said, the noise of all of this, and you really
Yeah.
focus on what is the fundamentals of the business I'm building today, what does the business look like, that the business I want to build tomorrow? What needs to be true to really make that expansion? And what kind of funds do I really need? That I think should totally I think the founder should actually be driving more of that conversation and be very clear about what is the minimum and what's the maximum that they're willing to take on every aspect of the term sheet, right? And I think that's what's going to help, anchor some of this down. And I do think it's tough. Like imagine you're a founder with an okay idea, but you got, the right, a lot of money, this and that. 2 years later, we get into a winter, you realize your business didn't have the right fundamentals. I feel
Mm.
bad for that founder because, yeah, maybe they had a splashy 1 month or 2 months, but they just spent 2 years they're not going to get back working on a business that they're probably not going to be seeing through. Right. And I personally, that would be so devastating for me. So, yeah.
No, I mean, it's always very, very tempting to get the highest valuation. I'll be honest with you guys, but I think it's also tempting for most of the founders. But thank you for this insight. It's not always like the good idea to take the highest valuation.